Hey, you should subscribe to the Minaris Club. Because the Principal of Saiyans told you to, idiot. Bye.
Deck profile for you today. I've got the Super 17 deck from set 26. It's been really fun. I've got a really cool build, so I thought I would just share it with you guys. So what's really sweet about him is he starts with this field spell in play, this power absorption and release. It's a barrier field card, 8 cost, can't really be interacted with outside of really specific stuff. It says whenever you play a Super 17, you can take one of your 17s or Hellfighters from your combo area and put it under your leader. And then if you ever use your Z extra card for the archetype, it also lets you take one of those cards from your discard pile and put it under your leader. And that's for later. We'll talk about that in a minute. He's got an auto when he's placed in the leader area, he gets this, and then auto when he attacks, you draw 1. Then an activate main once per turn, you can add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, search your deck for a red android with cost 1 and put it in your graveyard. That's also for later, we'll talk about that. And then he awakens if you're at 5 or less, no other awaken condition, 5 or less, draw 2. Flip over, and then he has an auto on the back. Whenever one of your Super 17 cards attacks, you draw 1, so that counts himself or your battle cards. So that's really cool. Your leader doesn't have to swing, get your card draw every turn. He's got an activate main once per turn. You can take up to 3 cards from under all of your Super 17s, put them in the graveyard, and then restand one of your Super 17s, and then he gets plus 10k for the turn. So he can choose himself because he's a legal target for that, and then he can get plus 10k for the turn. You can also choose one of your battle cards. You're usually not going to be doing that because you get an extra 10k boost on your leader, plus your leader swing is like your most powerful swing, generally speaking. But, you know, he swings a couple of times, and then he has an activate battle once per turn. You can use up to 1 android card with combo power of 5k from your drop in a combo with the skills negated for the turn. So you get a free combo on each turn, your turn and the opponent's turn, so it builds the energy really easily, and it also helps set up for your engine, because your engine is all about comboing with Hellfighter 17 and 18. Alrighty, so there's the leader. He's pretty sweet. Start with the Z deck. This is your field card. You get to cheat this out with the engine. What this does is when it's placed in the leader area, your Super 17 leader gets plus 5k power for the turn. So that's Bean. You can play this on either player's turn because it comes out at activate battle speed. So you can Bean on your turn for an extra 5k when you do the double swing, or you can get 5k while defending. Really cool. Then you can activate Battle Limit 1, place it, drop a Z energy, and drop this, and then give one of your Super 17 cards Double Strike for the battle. So it's like a Champa that's on board. It is Limit 1, but we do go through these a lot, so that's why I had to play all 4. Got a couple of these guys. This is Hellfighter 17. This guy comes up sometimes. He's a 3 cost, but he goes down to 1 if your leader is a Super 17 and you have 2 or more androids in your Z energy. He's a 15k. Then he can Union Absorb an Android 17 from your Z energy, I believe. Yeah, and then he puts an Android Super 17 on top of him in active mode that's a cost 6. So he can kind of sometimes swing for 15 and then Union Absorb and go into a big guy and then swing again, which is cool. Usually you're getting like floodgated and stuff, so that doesn't come up too much, but if it's like an aggro mirror and they don't have a ton of negates, this guy's really useful. This is probably the card I go into the most that isn't the Z extra card. It's a 2 cost, 3 Z, but it goes down to 1 cost. Still 3 Z, which is a lot, but again, we build a lot of Z energy. If you have a red android in play with cost 7 or more, it becomes a 1 cost in your Z deck, which is great. It does a billion things. It's deflect unique, dual attack blocker, auto once per turn when it attacks, you combo with a red android from your drop with its skills negated for the turn, and he gains barrier for the turn, and also auto if it activates blocker or restand. So it's a dual attack that can block, and it can also double block. It also combos with a card from your drop on attack, which is crazy. So it helps replenish the Z energy automatically. Vegeta for the late game stuff. Sometimes you just have a bunch of cards and you just need to play things. This guy's just good to get rid of barrier and to get around some floodgates because he's a Unison, and then the same with the Reich Peel-Off. You just want a cheap Unison. Sometimes you get right around like a Flying Nimbus or something, you just need to attack and dump your hand into something. It's a good card for that. That's your Z deck. Pretty straightforward. And then here's the package. So here is your starters. So we've got 4 of each of the 1-drops. You gotta play 4 of these, I think. I've seen some people just playing 2, because your leader can just set them up in your drop area for you, but you really want to play one of these on turn 1, especially if you're going first. So they both do pretty much the same thing. Android 17 comes into play, draws 1, and Hellfighter comes into play, searches top 5 for an android cost 6 or less and puts it in your hand. Then they both have the same activate battle limit 1. You can discard a card, and if they're in your drop area, you can discard a card and then combo with them from your drop area. So If you cycle these correctly, you can end up with no dead cards in your hand ever, pretty much. You can always like turn your extra cards into combo power even. It's really cool. These guys are insane. I think you should just play 8. They're great. And we've got the rest of the engine here. So we've got 4 of each of the 6 drops, the non-multicolor 6 drops. These guys both also do pretty much the same thing, just slightly different. Both of them have the same activate battle limit 1 for a red. If your leader's backside is this, so it works even on the front or the back, and you have an Android 17 and a Hellfighter 17 in your combo area, you can pay a red, play either of these from your hand, and then when they're played, both of them play your field card, and then do something different. So this one draws a card when it's played, and then this one minus 20k is a battle card when it's played. So both of them are super useful. You want to play one of these pretty much every turn the entire game, for the first like 3 or 4 turns at least, because that's how you get your whole engine going. So you can play one of these at activate battle speed. This comes out. You can take one of these cards from your combo area, put it under your leader because of your field card. This means your leader for the turn, and then you're just kind of off to the races from there. If you ever crack this, then you can take one of these from your drop and put it under your leader, and that helps defeat your skill. So this is kind of like your main engine, very important. Just max out on all of these. This card's probably the best card in the deck. It's the Android 17 and Hellfighter 17, so it's either side of the fusion piece for these cards. Plus, it's just broken, so if your opponent has 2 or more energy, you can play it from your hand, limit 1 for 1 energy, and you draw a card. It's a 20k, and then it can be comboed in rest mode, and when it's comboed, you can use an Android card from your drop area in a combo with skills negated, so you can like play this, draw a card, attack with something else like your leader, and then combo with this, and then combo with an Android from your drop, and then that automatically sets up your play for this without costing any hand advantage. It's crazy. So this is pretty much the first thing you should do every turn, as soon as this is online, is just play this for 1, draw a card, send, and then see what they do, and then that just kind of lets you set up for your whole plays for the rest of the turn. We got some extenders, so I've got 2 of this guy. This guy's great for the aggro mirrors, so he's a 30k crit, EX evolve for red. If you have 3 or more energy, he evolves on top of one of the 6 cost 17s. When he's played, you draw a card and he switches to active mode, and when he attacks, you choose one of their battle cards and put it under him. So it breaks their board, it's a 30k crit, and it replaces itself with hand advantage, plus you can swing with the card that was underneath it too, which is crazy. It's a little slow, you need to have 3 or more energy, plus you need to have a 6 in play, so I'm just playing 2 because it can be a little foggy. Same with this guy. This guy's great for the slower matchups because he takes a lot of energy investment and he's pretty well protected. This guy's a blocker. You can activate battle limit 1 if you have 3 or more energy and you have both of the fusion pieces in your combo area. You can pay 1 and play this. Then it has another activate battle where you can pay 1, place an Android card from your Z energy into the drop, switch this to active mode, draw a card, and minus 20k one of your opponent's battle cards. This is a great card to do on the opponent's turn. Like if they're like floodgating you, you can just stop playing and then on their turn arrival this and then just start doing stuff on their turn. So that's kind of what this is for. So you can kind of mess with these ratios depending on what you're planning on seeing, but I just like the 2-2 because this is good for aggro, this is good for control. 2 of this guy, I'd play more of him, but if he wasn't a multicolor, but energy exhaust kind of sucks. So he's another 6, so you can do a lot of your other plays with him. But again, he's a multicolor, so he can be a little foggy. He does have no combo power if you have, or no combo cost if you have an Android in your energy, which is cool. And then he has an activate main or battle limit 1, pay 1. If your leader is a red or green Android card and you have a Z card in play, you can play him from your hand, and then when he's played, you can put a card under him, and then draw 2 and remove a marker from a unison. And he's a natural double strike as well, so this guy's really good for like taking out unisons or just for some cheap aggro. Because he can take up to 3 markers off a unison by himself, which is cool. And then I'm plus using these as the super combos. It's an archetype. You can tutor it off of this, which happens a lot. You need to have 2 or more Z energy for him, which is really easy to attain. It sucks into blue because you really never want to have 2 Z energy on their turn because of the Oob 8 drop. But every other matchup, it's great. Plus this combos with this card as well from the Z deck, because this can combo with any Android. It doesn't care if it has 5k combo power or not. So if you swing with this, you can combo with this and make this a 25k, which is great. You don't get the card draw because the skills are negated, but it's still 25k 1-drop dual attack's pretty freaking good. Not bad at all. You can play Raditz too because you play the deck with low life, but I just like that it's tutorable and has synergy. Interactive cards. 4 dance. Always playing dance. We always have the field card in play for the most part, so that's free. 4 testing. We awaken at 5, so this is also kind of free. You just want to see these really early because you want to defend your 5 life turn with this. Or the Gohan defeating the demon. I was just playing 2, but this card's crazy, and then the Z card sets you up perfectly for this because it has 3 specified costs, or 3 specified Z costs, so that reduces him down to 1 as long as this is in play. And you don't even have to have any Z energy, which is cool. And then 2 of the King Vegeta Hidden Ambitions. This is just good it's a counter for like Dormant, D-Magic if they don't pay for it, other stuff. You can play kind of whatever you want down here. You can play Shu. I don't know, any interactive 1-drop thing to just like help push your plays through is a good thing for that slot. I just see a lot of blue and Dormant, so that's what I do. And then we've got like kind of the spicier stuff. So I've got 2 Supreme Kai of Time Overwhelms. This is an older one. It's an old promo, so you might not be familiar with it. It's a 15k Overwhelm, and then when you play it, if your leader is red or blue, you draw 1, and then you give your leader 5k for the turn. So that's crazy because your leader gets to re-swing, so you can bean your leader, swing with it, use its skill, detach 3, restand, it gets another 10k, and then swing again, which is great. And then if you have this card as well, the Royal Evolution, at the end of that battle, you can pay a red, bean it again, and then send with it again. So skills are negated if you use the Vegeta Royal Evolution, but it doesn't matter too much, so you just want to make sure you use your double strike before you do this. Generally, my game-ending play with this deck is I'm going to be going, activating this. It's just my dog in the background, ignore her. Activating this, you bean your leader for the turn, Overwhelm the Kai, you bean your leader again, you swing for 25, you use this effect, you restand, bean twice again, swing for 45, and then you can combo with this, bean him up again, restand, and then double strike on this combat before this resolves. Pay 1, so you go for a double strike there, pay 1, he restands, and then you can send for 50 at their last life. So you just get to swing 3 times, and he's huge and gets bigger every single time, which is great. And then the secret rare is this guy. You have to have 3 Z energy, and then he's 3 Z energy, 3 or more energy, he's free. 40k, when he's played, you warp up to 7 of your opponent's battle cards. Doesn't get through barrier, which kind of stinks, but it doesn't care about power, so it helps you get through like their bigger cards, like their own secret rare. Then he has an activate battle once per turn. If you have Sparking 7, you pay 1, and then you draw until you have 7 in your hand. So he helps you just refill your hand and just push for game, plus he's just a free 40k, which helps you just donk him down to 2, which is the lethal range for the combo here with the leader. Yeah, that's the deck. It's pretty weird to play. It has a lot of triggers and stuff going on, but for the most part, you're generally just going to want to play one of him on turn 1, and then play one of these guys when you awaken, and then you'll just kind of keep playing. You want to start off with the 7-drop every turn, as I said. Where did he go? So you can always send with him, swing with your leader, get your card draw, and then if they floodgate you, you can just pass, because all of your plays can also be done at activate battle speed on their turn, which is cool. So if they floodgate you, you don't have to invest any hand advantage into hitting them. You can just build your board on their turn and then just keep playing. And then eventually when they run out of floodgates, you can just hit them with your big combo at the end to just try and donkster them from 4 to 0. But yeah, that's the deck profile, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can always hit us up in the comment section below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Peace.